Everybody wants a shortcut. It's human nature. So learning to declutter in order to achieve living a minimalist life seems like it should be enough. After all, minimalism is about letting go, right? But what happens after you let go? Decluttering is just the removal of things. It doesn't include the foundation or the basis for keeping them from tumbling back in. That's why so many people declutter in cycles. It's always damage repair. As with any lifestyle change, you should always start out with your why. I go into great detail about this here, where I share the first 3 steps to getting started with minimalism. Without a truly personal reason, nothing is going to back you up when you face getting rid of those just-in-case items or the sentimental stuff. Nothing's going to hold you back from buying out your favorite clothing store when you get a fat paycheck or have a particularly horrific week. But after that, there's one word, one key that bridges the gap from a serial declutterer to someone who is living a minimalist life. That's what we're here to talk about today. This video is sponsored by Fabulous, and I'll share more about them later. I want to let you know that next week is the beginning of my Holistic Spaces live event. I'm going to be speaking with a variety of expert speakers about creating and living in holistic spaces Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday I'll be sharing my free workshop live, all about creating holistic, clutter-free spaces inside of your home. So be sure to register using the link down below, or you can go to miadanielle.com/workshop. So as I said, the key to living a minimalist life really boils down to one word. Actually, with this one word, you can change any area of your life. It's a superpower that we all have, and yet we're constantly trying to drown it in random, tedious information. That word is awareness. Specifically, self-awareness and awareness of your surroundings. Self-awareness is a roadmap that gets us from where we are to where we want to be. Without an intentional practice of self-awareness and relentless self-evaluation, you're going to keep driving around in circles. So a good place to start is to understand what type of clutter you're holding on to and why. Why do you hold on to the things that you hold on to? There are so many reasons that we hold on to things: guilt, obligation, uncertainty, fear, sentiment. Fear, of course, is the most common. We fear letting go of the past, which causes us to hold on to old love letters or outgrown toys. Fear of the future causes us to get stuck in just-in-case thinking. This is even more true if that item is attached to your identity, like the guitar from college that you never learned to play, but you're not quite ready to give up on the idea of someday serenading your house an acoustic song. Now let's switch over to self-awareness with your habits. What are your weaknesses? Do you have unhelpful shopping tendencies? Are there certain items that you're especially drawn to? The mind has a tendency to want more and less at the same time. This paradox develops a loop of dissatisfaction, and we constantly feed into it. So become aware when your mind is pulling you toward this cycle. Then you can take some intentional actions to curb your shopping tendencies if need be, and I share more about that in this video. Remember, you already have what you need to be successful at this. You have that one key, you just need to use it. This portion of the video is sponsored by Fabulous, the #1 self-care app to help you build better habits and achieve your goals. It can be difficult to rewire your brain while you're in it. If changing habits was easy, everyone would do it and the world would be a much different place. What makes it easier is having an outside force in your corner, a science-backed digital coach in your pocket. Fabulous is a digital coach that uses insights from behavioral science to help you develop positive habits so that you can live the life you want. It's 100% personalized, you can go at your own pace, and the Fabulous approach is rewarding, gentle, and fun. You'll find a library of habit-building programs that you can plug and play as you see fit. Create daily rituals, track your moods and success streaks, and choose from a catalog of mind and habit strengthening challenges. Explore habit tracking and choose from over 100 recommended habits or create your own. If you want to take a more guided tour approach, choose a pre-made journey to immerse you in your own personal adventure. I adore the coaching and the mindset strengthening that the app offers and was totally drawn in by the beauty and story that Fabulous has built into their app. The first 100 people who click the link in the description will get 25% off. With Fabulous Premium, you can access an unlimited number of habits, journeys, and coaching. It's also important to practice surroundings awareness, or awareness of your surroundings. Practice noticing your clutter even before it becomes clutter. Look around your home and think, would I notice something that didn't belong in this room? So pay attention to things like seasons of usefulness. There are so many belongings that you really only need periodically. Your kid's soccer uniform, peppermint cocoa that you only drink at Christmas, and so on. Putting these things away when the season isn't right will help you to direct your energy to the things that are actually relevant. This could include paying attention to places where things normally get shoved or stored, the junk drawer or the clutter hotspots in your house. Maybe even taking it a step further and deciding if there are ways that you can repurpose these areas or rehome the clutter that's in them. But not everything is clutter hotspots and seasonal equipment. There are a lot of things that we hold on to because we never really stopped to reevaluate if they still fit into our lives. There are a lot of things that maybe used to make us happy, but no longer fit into the story of the life that you're currently living. And you start to collect these stories from all of the lives that you've lived previously and try to fit them all into the life that you're living now. And it just doesn't really work. But try to think of ways that you can curate these belongings instead of keeping all of them. Is there a way that you could implement a memory box instead of a memory room or a memory home? One thing that I love that I picked up from a friend of mine, Susan Choi, who's the host over at the Stress Proof podcast, she said something about constantly redeciding and allowing yourself to redecide about the decisions that you've made and about the things that you're just allowing to exist inside of your life. I definitely think that that's something that can be incorporated into your belongings and the life that you live inside of your space. Give yourself permission to redecide. Is something still valid for you? Is it still fitting for you? So why do so many people miss this? Awareness is just naturally baked into our existence, right? Like we all have the ability to be aware at any given moment. You could do it right now if you stop and put your mind to it. So why is it so difficult? And why is it that so many people miss this crucial step in creating the space and the life that they want? Well, let's take a quick detour. When I was in high school, I practiced all summer long and against all odds became a varsity cheerleader. Varsity cheerleaders got to do cool things like skip class to make posters and walk around the Bible Belt school in a cheerleader outfit with a flyaway skirt. My modesty was only protected by a pair of black bloomers. Now, like most 16-year-old girls, I was pretty insecure, so I spent the majority of my mornings tediously applying thin layers of makeup and ensuring that every hair was in place. In fact, I spent so much time applying this thin layer of makeup that seriously nobody would be able to notice, that the rest of the morning was a frantic rush to get to school on time. It wasn't until I busted through the school doors that I realized there was more of a draft than usual in my cheerleading uniform. I had forgotten my bloomers. This was the closest I've ever come to a real-life version of that naked at school nightmare. So what does this have to do with minimalism and practicing awareness in your space? Well, because we feel the need to do something in order to alleviate uncertainty in an outcome, we often focus on the unimportant details, the things that nobody would likely even notice. We're focusing on the indiscernible makeup instead of the key components, in my case, the bloomers. We spend our energy wholeheartedly toiling over a few little duplicate items, or what to do with Aunt Shelley's birthday cards, or whether or not we really need that extra throw pillow. Rather than worrying over a few small objects that won't make or break your home, focus that energy instead on strengthening your awareness muscle. Gain clarity around why you, specifically you, have the clutter that you have. Work from the inside out and don't get distracted by the little minuscule details that will likely go unnoticed. Building awareness first makes the decisions of what to discard easier. In the end, minimalism is a practice of awareness regarding belongings, your time, and your energy, and it takes practice to find your personal balance with your stuff. However, when you become a student of awareness, the decisions become easier. You start to intuitively know if an item is something you've been holding on to for the wrong reasons. You'll also start to feel at ease in the process. Don't be an information hoarder, collecting checklists and articles to make you feel like you're making progress. Do the hard internal work if you truly want lasting results in living a more minimalist life.